the silent strategy the wealthy elite use to stay on top. It is not what most people think. It is not luck. It is not inherited brilliance. And it is certainly not just working harder than everyone else. The real game is quieter, more calculated, and almost invisible to anyone who is not looking closely. While the rest of the world chases trends, celebrates hustle culture, and refreshes their social media feeds looking for the next shortcut, the top 1% are playing an entirely different game, one that most people never even realize exists. The power of long-term thinking, the single most underrated weapon of the ultra-wealthy, is their relationship with time. Most people think in days, weeks, or maybe a year ahead. The 1% think in decades. Warren Buffett built Berkshire Hathaway into one of the most formidable financial empires in history, not by chasing explosive gains, but by committing only to businesses he could see himself holding for decades. His philosophy is simple: own great companies and let time do the heavy lifting. That patience, invisible to the outside world, is the foundation of everything he has built. Jeff Bezos operates with what he calls the Day One philosophy, a mindset that treats Amazon, even after nearly 3 decades, as if it is still just getting started. While most CEOs are laser-focused on quarterly earnings, Bezos was thinking in centuries. He has spoken openly about his space company, Blue Origin, in terms of a 200-year timeline. That level of long-range thinking shapes every decision, every investment, and every risk he takes. Elon Musk maps out the future like a branching tree of probabilities. He does not react to the present. He positions himself for what he calculates the future is most likely to become. His willingness to absorb billions in Tesla losses between 2010 and 2018, staying invested through seemingly impossible odds, was not recklessness. It was a strategy rooted in a long-term conviction that the market would eventually catch up to his vision. And it did. This pattern is consistent across the 1%. They refuse to let short-term noise disrupt long-term direction. They do not panic sell when markets drop. They do not abandon their plans because the results are not instant. The compound effect of staying the course, applied over many years, is what separates those who build lasting empires from those who simply experience a lucky streak. The architecture of invisible wealth. There is a reason why the truly wealthy rarely talk about their money in public. Their most powerful financial moves happen behind closed doors, structured through legal entities, trusts, diversified assets, and strategic tax planning. This is not the money they post about. This is the money that grows silently while the world is distracted. The 1% build multiple streams of income, not one. They invest across stocks, bonds, real estate, and private businesses simultaneously, ensuring no single market collapse can wipe them out. Bezos, for example, did not put everything into Amazon. He diversified into real estate, media through the Washington Post, and space technology through Blue Origin. Diversification is not just a financial strategy for these individuals, it is a survival philosophy. They also treat debt as a precision tool rather than a trap. While ordinary people accumulate high-interest consumer debt, the wealthy use low-cost debt to acquire assets that grow in value over time. They never pay high interest on anything they consume, but they will leverage strategically to acquire property, equity, or a promising business. High-interest debt, they understand deeply, is a wealth leak. Every dollar lost to interest is a dollar that could have been compounding. Cash reserves are another silent weapon. The wealthy are obsessive about liquidity. Keeping substantial cash on hand is not being idle. It is being ready. When markets fall and panic spreads, the 1% are not scrambling for funds. They are buying. While others are forced to sell at a loss to cover emergencies, the wealthy are stepping in and acquiring assets at a discount. Having liquidity in chaos is not just smart, it is one of the most powerful advantages money can buy. The Walton family heirs to the Walmart empire, and the Mars family, who built their chocolate and confectionery dynasty across generations, are prime examples of how wealth is preserved and grown through legal structures like trusts and family offices. These tools minimize taxes, protect assets, and ensure that fortunes do not erode as they pass from one generation to the next. It is not glamorous. It is not exciting. But it works with extraordinary consistency. The mindset no one teaches, beyond strategy and structure, the 1% share a deeply ingrained mental operating system that most people simply never develop. It starts with treating knowledge as an asset. Warren Buffett dedicates roughly 80% of his working day to reading and thinking. Bill Gates takes scheduled periods away from everything just to read. This is not a hobby. It is an investment in the sharpest tool they own, which is their own mind. The world's most successful people are polymaths. They are not narrowly focused on one skill. Buffett understands insurance, banking, consumer goods, and media, Musk works across electric vehicles, aerospace, neural technology, and artificial intelligence. Bezos has built logistics, cloud computing, media, and space exploration. This breadth of understanding allows them to spot opportunities that narrow specialists simply cannot see. They connect patterns across industries, and those connections become the foundation for the next billion-dollar decision. They also manage attention ruthlessly. Bezos schedules his most cognitively demanding meetings in the morning when mental energy is at its peak. Musk has been known to delegate or automate almost everything that does not require his unique capabilities. Buffett famously protects his calendar from the unnecessary, leaving vast blocks of time for reading and strategic thinking. These are not passive habits. They are deliberate systems built to guard against one of the greatest threats to elite performance, which is distraction. The 1% also build networks of the right people, not simply large networks. They surround themselves with experts, attorneys, accountants, financial advisors, and innovators who challenge their thinking and sharpen their decisions. They treat mentors and advisors not as a luxury but as a necessity. Their inner circle is curated with purpose. Perhaps most critically, the 1% maintain an unwavering tolerance for delayed gratification. Buffett kept his lifestyle modest for decades so that his capital could compound. Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx and one of the most successful self-made women in the world, spent years quietly building her business in near anonymity before the world ever heard her name. The ability to stay the course without applause, without validation, and without immediate results is what ultimately separates those who stay on top from those who briefly visit. The silent strategy is not a secret formula locked away in a vault. It is a combination of long-term thinking, invisible financial architecture, and a disciplined mindset applied consistently, without exception, for years. The 1% are not smarter. They are simply more patient, more intentional, and more committed to playing a game that most people do not even know is being played.